Tell me a little bit more about those core foundational values that you've developed over time, getting to know yourself more, getting to know yourself as an entrepreneur, as a freelancer more. Would you be comfortable sharing what are some of those values in which you live and embrace your freelance and your professional career and your personal life around?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the biggest one for me right now is just family. Since becoming, a mom, I want to be present with my boys. I want them to feel like I am fully with them and not scrolling through my email or feeling overwhelmed by, everything else that's still on my plate, which I think is important to think about when you think about your capacity and your bandwidth. So often we talk about that just in terms of your actual working time. But even if you're getting things the appropriate amount done in your working time, but you're still feeling really stressed and overwhelmed and distracted, that to me is a signal that you're still taking on too much because you can't kind of check it at the door
Mm,
and, be in the moment. So family is definitely just like my biggest, I guess my only priority because, you can only really have one. And my biggest value. And that makes it sound like easy, right? That makes it sound like I'm over here like, well, if this doesn't serve my time with my boys, it's an easy no. And that is like not the case. I just
right.
wrote an article about this recently. It's not published yet, but when it comes to kind of this like work-life balance promised land, it's so often talked about like it's just like a code to be cracked. Like now I work a 3-day week, work-life balance comes easy, everything's in check, my life is perfectly proportional. And that is like not the case. In order to live a life that's aligned with your values, you're making hard decisions day in and day out. It's not a one and done sort of thing. So I'm turning down
Love
clients
that.
that I would love to work with and projects I'm excited about and speaking opportunities I would love to participate in and ideas for my own business that I would love to pursue. I'm saying no to those and setting them aside because my values and my priority right now is time freedom and time and energy for my family. But just because that's aligned with my values doesn't make it an easy black and white decision because it's not. Day in and day out I'm making tough choices.